What is up, guys? It's Mitchell or Deity, and here we are at part 5 of the guide. So today's goal is going to be working on our Wyvern 13 team. So those of you guys that haven't started messing with any of the Wyvern characters from last video, we will get into that, but I want to show you the progress I have made so far. So we're at the point where we need to promote a 5-star hero to 6-star 2 times. So we just need to do one more for this, and then it'll give us another potion for a 6-star. Once we are at this area, if you haven't claimed your epic spirit blooms, I wanted to go in, and maybe you haven't done that challenge yet, but with the epic spirit blooms, you always want to go to your event and go into your hunt challenge. So with the hunt challenge, I want you guys to always be claiming epic spirit blooms when they are giving you value. So right here, we could still get 28 epic spirit blooms. If this is maxed out for any reason, any of you guys that have maybe are playing at a different point of the guide, then you want to change your hunt to a different one to make sure when you get the spirit blooms, they are working you towards something. Okay, so that is that. So I'm going to go ahead and claim all this, and we'll receive all those rewards. We get some crafting materials and things like that. We will spend them. We also get 50,000 stigma, which is huge. So now once we grab that, I want you to go in. There is another event I want you to check out, and that is going to be the Mologora challenge. So with the Mologora challenge, I want you to come in, and if you look here, we have to awaken a hero to 4-star or higher 3 times. So with awakening a character to 4-star or higher 3 times, we will claim anything else in this, but that gives us a potion. And with that potion, so 4-star higher 3 times. So we want to go to our team, and the next character that we are going to be 6-starring is going to be Sigret, and then Spectre Tenebria. So that is the order of your 6 stars. It goes Free Spiriteria, Spectre, or then it goes Sigret, and then you boost up Sigret and all the things to finish your Spectre Tenebria to where you can 6-star her, because you have to finish the missions, and then you do it. So Sigret needs to be level 50, so if you want to, if you haven't leveled her all the way up, you can come in and use some penguins. So once you use the penguins, then she will be level 50, and then we are going to awaken her. So with doing the challenges for Sigret, that's one of the best parts about the hunt challenges. It gives you all the rewards needed to fully boost up characters as you're going through and finishing the missions. So we're just going to get her up to 4-star awaken real quick. And this is also part of the hunt challenges, is awakening characters. So again, make sure whenever you are awakening a character to 5-star or 6-star, you are in a portion of the hunt challenge, whichever hunt challenge you have picked at the time, you are going to get some kind of reward for it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and boost her up to 5-star. And then from here, we need one more character to 4-star awaken. So we need to go back and look at our team. As you see, our Free Spiriteria is 4-star awaken. We'd like to 5-star awaken her. We will do that today. Next up, we have our Destina. Now we need to do our Spectre Tenebria 4-star awaken. So we need 2 more of the middle runes. So I'm going to go to combine runes, and we're going to make 2 of them. And then once we do that, we should be good to go. And now that will finish the challenge. Okay, so once you have boosted up and gotten that potion, you can back out of here and go claim it from the rewards in the event. And now we go back to Mologora challenge. And here is our... There we go. There is our awaken. Oh, it's or higher. So if you do anything to 5-star, it'll take it too. So I didn't read that far into it, but there we go. So now that we've gotten that potion, the thing with potions is it doesn't really matter how you use them. Some people try to be extra efficient with them, but 6-starring characters in this game is so easy that there isn't a big reason to be super picky about who you're using a potion on. But you just go into your inventory, go to consumable, and it will not be in here because we haven't claimed it. So we come in here and then we claim it, and then you can claim any of the other stuff that you got. I think when you claim this, it goes into your inventory. I'm gonna claim it. Okay, it should go into my inventory, and we're not going to use that until we're farming. Okay, so now, there we go. Now that we claimed it, we go into here, and we are going to 6-star our Sigret. Okay, like I said, some people use this on 4-star or 3 stars just to get a tiny bit more value. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's so easy to 6-star characters. You do not need to be super efficient with this. You will be fine. So I always just take the efficiency route whenever I am playing the game. I'm not going to min-max. My time is more valuable than that. So now that we have done that, we have finished 2 more missions here, and it's going to give us another potion. Okay, and then I got a duplicate Angelica from the ticket, so you get a 4 to 5-star character. And we need to awaken a character to 6-star 1 time. But now if we go into our Moonlight Blessing, as you see, we need to reach level 60 with 2 heroes, and it allows us to 6-star our Spectre Tenebria. So I'm going to go in and go to my Sigret. If you have the penguins, you can go ahead in and level it up, which you should. And now we have our Spectre Tenebria. We are able to 6-star her, or if you picked Arbiter Vilgid, you could do that. But now that that is done, we are going to, as you see at the bottom left, we need to awaken 3-star or higher characters to 5-star. We need to reach gold in arena. So you need to be making sure you're doing arena. Some of you guys may already be there. I need to catch up a bit today on arena. But now that we have done that, we are able to come in and we can boost up our Spectre Tenebria now. If you go to promotion, you can see that we could potentially combine Spirit Blooms. If you can do that, you can save your potion. So I'm going to go ahead and combine Spirit Blooms. Otherwise, you can use a potion on her. Again, it doesn't really matter how you 6-star characters. Whichever way is fine. So now that she is there, I'm going to go ahead and penguin her as well. And she will now be boosted up to 6-star. So now we have a much stronger Spectre Tenebria. And if we come into here, it is probably about time to upgrade our gear a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this to +9. We probably will end up boosting it higher, but for right now, let's just go ahead and do a little bit of increasement to any of the gear that we have. These boots, I'm going to go ahead and use powder only first and take it to +15. Luckily, I have enough powder, so that'll go up. And then for the sword, we're going to go ahead and take that. As you see, for the sword, we don't have enough powders, but we'll use powder first. And if you want to save your universal charms, you can just use you can just click to level up and you will be fine. So I'm going to go ahead. You don't want to go too far over cap because you don't get the full value back. But that right there just now gave us a bunch of extra stat on our Spectre Tenebria. I'm going to go ahead and use powder only and upgrade these to +12. All right, I'll go to +13, I guess. We will end up boosting up all this gear because it will go on a Wyvern team character. The thing with your gear that isn't super good is it goes on PvE characters in the game, and it's not a big, like, that has effectiveness. That's going to be really good for Wyvern, whoever we put it on. Okay, so now that this is done, let's see if we have an artifact for our Spectre Tenebria yet. I'm going to sort by grade. Her main artifact generally is going to be Tagaheld's Ancient Book. Whenever you get further into the game, especially with taking her into any kind of PvP, Guild Wars Arena. But for right now, Kaladra's fine. If you don't have any 4-star artifacts, that other artifact that I had on her was okay. Any 3-star artifact that has damage is fine. And now that we have that boosted up, our team is going to be looking much stronger. Again, I would like to awaken my Tyria, which she needs Eternal Force Dust, and she needs 12 of them. And I'm going to go ahead and go do that right now. So I'm going to, well, we won't do that yet. Boosting her up, she's already doing okay. The only thing is her crit chance is low. But from here, now we're going to go ahead onto our cigarette, and we are going to put Daydream Joker. So Daydream Joker is going to be the artifact for our cigarette. And then also, if you guys were following along with the last episode of the guide, you know that we put our other set here, our free HP set, on our Angelica. This is our Wyvern front tank. Okay. And once we get all this done, I want you to go back to Grace of Growth. And this, now we have our Angelica. She gets boosted up to level 60 because we finished more missions. The last mission here is we need a stage 4 will unlock when you own a starting 5-star grade hero with fully enhanced skills. The character that we are going to be fully enhancing skills on is our Cigarette. Okay, Cigarette will be the first character that we fully enhance skills on, and it just makes it to where Wyvern is much, much easier. So we need to get a bunch of shiny enchantments. And with the shiny enchantments, if you come into here, we can go ahead and you can use your boxes just like this and scale enhance, where you have to boost all of your skills all the way up. So we are going to have to go through multiple ways of getting these. So I'm just going to go ahead and take all 21 of these because we're going to be getting more boxes. Maybe you guys have more boxes than I do at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to receive all of them into this. It's fine. The catalysts are super easy to get in a million different ways. So let's see how many more we need after this is done. So we just keep boosting up. And then now we're going to go into this and boost this up. And it looks like this takes a total of 12. So we need 10 more shiny enchantments to finish it. And then we need 6 Horn of Desires. So in terms of our Horn of Desires, we do have enough boxes for them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of them. And then I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can go in and get a couple extra catalysts. So if you go to Side Story, Unrecorded History, you can go into Adventure, and then you can go into the AP Exchange. So we've already talked about the AP Exchange. I'm going to go ahead and grab 6 of them from here. Okay, so if you have any AP, you can buy them. Otherwise, farm some stage 30 to get some more stigma and everything for boosting up your account. And once we do that, we also have the Alchemist Steeple. So if you come to the Alchemist Steeple, you can go into the Catalyst, and you can go to the Catalyst you want, and it is Shiny Enchantment. And then you can trade in catalysts for this. So with farming that one stage, we are farming stage 30, it drops these Ring of Glory catalysts. And it also drops these small sun badges. You will end up having a billion of these over the beginning of the game farming. You'll have 100, 200 of these. Anytime you need catalysts, the general idea is you take these and trade them in for what you need, because that's what you'll have an abundance of. So since I know I'm going to be farming, I'm going to get a bunch more. I'm going to go ahead and trade these in, and this is going to give me the 4 rest of the ones that I need for boosting up our cigarette. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and claim any of the sky stones and whatnot, and we'll go in back to our cigarette, and we will keep boosting her. So now I'm going to skill enhance, and we're going to boost this up, and we're going to boost this up, and then we are going to finish off her skill 3. Now that this is fully boosted, our cigarette is going to be a monster for Wyvern. Okay, so now that is all done, and that finishes up the mission in our Grace of Growth. So now we have our Grace of Growth fully maxed out. This is done. We never have to worry about it again. We have the full max version of it unlocked, and our Angelica will be fully boosted. Okay, very soon, once we get Brieg in a couple days, we will switch Angelica off that, and then you could use that for any character that you want to put on it to try out. That's a whole idea of that. The only thing is there's a 3-day cooldown. So whatever character you put on your Grace of Growth, you're going to have to wait 3 days before you can do anything else with them. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do my daily summon, see if we get anything here. And again, the main character you're looking for is going to be the character Mui or Alexa, preferably Mui. Alexa's the second. It's what you have to use if you do not get lucky. But I didn't really get anything. I didn't get anything at all there. Okay, so now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and back out, and we're going to go and try to set our Wyvern team. So with your Wyvern team, you're going to have your Angelica in your front slot. You're going to have your cigarette and all the other characters wherever, but Angelica needs to be in the front. So the way that Wyvern works is you need to apply debuffs to it, and you need to do a lot of damage. Okay, so as long as you have 2 debuffs on the boss, it will always attack your frontline unit past the first turn. The first turn, it will always attack your frontline unit as long as you don't have a character going before it. So with this, our goal is to make sure that we are going to be always applying 2 debuffs. So Furious, we are going to end up getting a free ring on him, and the way that we're going to beat Wyvern the first time is we are going to move gear over to these characters. But for right now, I want you just to set up either your Angelica or whoever you decided for your front tank. If you have a knight, then you can use them instead. A blue knight of 4-star high rarity, you could use that. But all of us will have Angelica. Yes, you could use Montmorency if you did start working on her and you were hearing advice from other people. Montmorency will work in the spot. She has a lot more work to get set up. But then just have this set. If you don't have Mui, you're going to have to use Alexa for the first clear, and we're going to put the minimal resources into her. But that's all we're going to do for this right now. The next thing that I wanted to show off is our other progress that we have made so far. So I said I was going to get to chapter 8. I made it to chapter 7. So we are to chapter 7 of the story. And then I got to a point where I was like, it'd be nice to boost up my characters a little bit before I go any further. So that is where we are. Always, again, I am going to make a video tomorrow going over the daily routine of Epic 7. But make sure you go in and grab your free stuff here. And then from this point, I want you guys to go in and go back to this, and let's see what the next missions are. We need to awaken a hero to 6-star 1 time. We need to acquire this, and then we need to win 20 arena battles, and we want to get to this because this is going to be gear that we can put on our Furious to use. So that is our overall goal, and then we're going to have to start with the Wyvern thing. So make sure you are to this point, and then once we are to this point, we're going to go into event because we need to get our things for our cigarette. Also, once you promote your other 6 stars, you can create or start on this challenge, and you'll start getting rewards every day for completing or just logging in once you have your 3 6 stars. And it's going to give you a bunch of catalysts and things like that. Next up, Molagora challenge. See if there's anything here that we have finished. Nope. But we do want to finish up our Molagora challenge because there is a new one that starts once you finish this. There are 3 versions of this that give a bunch of great rewards. So we just need to clear Spirit Altar for this. So we will farm a little bit of that. We might have to do some blue Spirit Altar. And then now we're going to go into here. We get our free attack set. That attack set is actually pretty decent. And the thing that we need to work on now is we need to buy 1 more Epic Catalyst from the AP exchange to get the 10 to Awakener. So I think I am a little bit under what we need. I probably shouldn't have bought as many of the rare catalysts as I did. Yeah, I need to do a couple more stages. So I'm going to do a couple more stages so I can buy 1 more catalyst, and then I will be back. The catalyst that we are buying is going to be Oh, hold on, I gotta clean up inventory. But the catalyst we're gonna be buying is the top one. It is for Spectratibria, the unfused nerve. So I will be back in just a second once I have enough AP, and I will tell you what we're gonna work on next. Okay, so now that you have enough AP to trade in for the last catalyst, if you haven't done it yet, maybe some of you guys are ahead of me, that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trade in again for this top one, the fused nerve. That is for boosting up our Spectratibria. And now that we have bought that, we can go back to our event and we can grab our catalyst to fully 6-star our cigarette, which is going to give us, grab that. And now let's go back out. Let's go to our cigarette and boost her up. So I'm going to take her to 6-star. Actually, we got to, again, always make sure when you grab the stuff, you claim it out of here. And then also this is a free attack set. There's some penguins that you got for challenges. So you got that. This attack set is going to be utilized for another character. It's slightly better than the set that we already currently have on our Tyria. So we're going to end up mix and matching pieces, but it's going to take a lot of charms from this point. That is one thing you guys are going to learn really soon, is how many charms it takes to deal with everything. It's pretty obnoxious as a new player. The charm situation is always really brutal, so just keep that in mind. That's going to be annoying for you. But now that that is done, that finishes our achieving adventure mission. So that now that our achieving adventure mission is completed, if we go into this, we need to awaken a 3-star or higher character to 5-star still. So the other character that we could do is our Raz, or we could do our Destina to 5-star. Any of those characters would be fine, but we also have our Wyvern characters. So we're going to go in, and I want you to go and boost up your Wyvern characters. Now, I want you to go, hopefully you have Mui. If you do not, go ahead and boost up your Alexa instead. But we'll go to Mui, and we just need to take these characters to 5-star. That's it. So you do not use your potion on them. Just use your spirit balloons. We do not need to 6-star either of these characters ever on our account. Most of their damage is going to come from an artifact, that Daydream Joker artifact. The only one that we boost up is going to be our cigarette to 6-star. And she does enough damage that we don't have to do any others. So let's go ahead and now take our Mui to level 50. Now that our Mui is level 50, we're going to go ahead and go to our Furious and get him promoted as well. And now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and level him up. And there we go. So now our Wyvern team is basically good to go. We just need to do some awakenings. So our Furious, go ahead in and awaken your Furious to 4-star. And we're going to awaken Mui to 5-star. That's our next two goals. We could probably awaken our Furious to 5-star as well, but I want to save the resources for right now, just because he doesn't really need it. Let's see what his 5th awakening is in terms of stats, and then decide from there. But usually Furious, we just put the very minimal amount of resources into him, at the beginning at least, just to make sure we're good to go. So now he's at 4-star awaken, and let's check the 5th awakening, see if it's effectiveness. If it's not, we don't really care. It's attack. We definitely don't care about the 5th-star awaken because he's not there as a damage dealer. Okay, so for your Furious artifact, when you summon on Asaria, and got Song of Stars, that's the best artifact for him for Wyvern. If you didn't, take one of your 3 Daydream Jokers and put it on there. You would take the lowest one and put it on. But hopefully you guys got Song of Stars. If you didn't, you'll be fine though. Do not worry about it. Now, next up, we're going to go ahead and go to our Mui, and we're going to do the same thing to him. So let's go ahead and start awakening him, and he will be our character that we are going to boost up to full 5-star awakening, which means that we might have to go farm some water runes, which farming water runes is fine because we need to do it to finish our Mola challenge anyway. Okay, so sorry, I'm coughing. Still getting over being sick. I'm sorry these guys are taking so long to come out. I've been battling a terrible headache. I'll sit in front of my setup, I'll try to work, and then I get like the worst migraine. I've never had migraines before, and I've been getting them while trying to make this guide. Very annoying. So we have exactly enough to do it, but we need 9 of these catalysts. So with needing 9 of these catalysts, if you have any boxes, you could use your boxes. Otherwise, you will need to go farm, and you'll need to do the different ways of trading in. So that is something you could do now if you wanted to go ahead and get that farming in the background. But do you want to have him 5-star awaken? Now we're going to go into this. This is going to give us a couple things here. So let's go ahead and claim all of it, and we're good to go. Okay, so now all of that is claimed. What was this box? Hold on. It gave me 1 rare random catalyst. Okay, now we need to win 20 arena battles. So I want you guys to go out, make sure that challenge is done. A lot of you guys probably already have that part done, but let me go out. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to plan out a couple more things, and then we will get to the next part. Okay, so once you have gotten out, I actually forgot to claim the resources to awaken my Raz. So with Raz, you have some of the rewards that you can get from doing the missions that you can just go to your events and go to your adventure for new air missions. And you will have some of the catalysts needed for him. So make sure you are going through and doing all of this along the way. It's a bunch of free rewards. Also do your Archie 7-day login. And then from there, check your hunt challenge to make sure there's nothing extra that you can grab into there. We did some more awakenings. These resources will be needed here to get exclusive equipments for our characters. So the exclusive equipments for characters, if you go to battle and you go to Hall of Trials, your Hall of Trials, you can exchange here and buy whatever you want from in here. The first one we're going to buy is for our cigarette. Okay, and we can also buy one for our free spirits area, but your characters need to be 5-star awakened to be able to utilize these, meaning that we do need a 5-star awaken our Furious. I did forget about that. So whenever you buy these, the thing is they come with a random item. Okay, so this increases sever damage by 20. We want the one that after activating smash, the health condition becomes or changes to 75%. That's the best one. If you do not get it within the first couple, it's fine. So as you see, that's just by sever. I guess we might have to deal with it. We got all the same ones. So I did 3 there, and that's just what we're going to have to take. There's nothing else we can do about it for right now. We will get a lot more of those resources. But for here, we want to go in, and now we want to receive the rewards for winning the 20 arena battles. One thing with arena is always, whenever you're doing arena, you always want to take these sky stones at the end of the week. Never take mystic metals. That's a super common question. That's just probably going to be something that a lot of you forget going forward. But I'm just going to go ahead and put the highest attack version of what I got on. Either of the other ones are better, but the ideal one is the 75% chance after smash. That one is just way better. But we do need to awaken our Furious to 5-star awakening. So if we look here, we need one more of the Spirit Altar. So I am going to go farm a little bit of Spirit Altar. One thing with the game that I have not talked about yet is going to be there is the ability to quick battle. So if you go in and beat a stage, then you want to farm. If you're farming for runes, you want to either do the lowest stage or the highest stage. So if you're farming for small runes, just do the lowest stage, you'll get it done quicker. If you're farming for any other type of rune, always do the highest stage. But I'm going to let this run. I will be back when it is finished, and then I'll show you how to use your quick battles. Okay, so once this is done, if you need to farm faster or want to complete anything at a quicker rate, if you go in, you can go to whatever it is, and you have 10 quick battles per day. If you buy the $5 monthly pack, you get 20. So depending on what you're farming, if you ever want to just finish a battle really fast, you can just click quick battle, and it'll just run through the battle. Yes, you can fail these, so make sure your characters that you bring are actually going to beat it. But that is just a way that you can speed through and finish things way faster. It is a super nice addition to the game. Once you get further, it allows you to hop on the game, get all your daily login stuff done, and then get off the game really quick. So if there's a day you can't play at E7 that much, it's a great addition to the game. But we just needed those bigger things, so I'm going to go ahead and claim anything we got going on here. And then since we bought the 3, we are going to get some extra resources out of this. And then I'll claim that later. But now that we have the things to awaken our Furious to 5-star, let's go out and go ahead in. And we are going to take him up, awaken, and put him at 5-star. Okay, so our Furious now is done. We don't have to do anything else, and this also boosts up our Spectre Tenebria. We would still like to get our Mui boosted up to 5-star awaken as well. But right here, this is one very important thing. Okay, we are going to need to farm a lot of Twisted Fangs. Some of you guys may need to wait for the login days. One of the challenges for the 6-star promotion in the events tab, you get 15 catalysts of a certain type. So maybe if you want to slow down your progression, that's a way to get them. Otherwise, you just need to go farm. You just need to go farm unrecorded history as much as you can, and that will get you a bunch of them. But since we 5-star awakened him, we can now do our 5th awakening on our Spectre Tenebria. We will work on that as well. And the last thing to fully unlock her is going to be reaching gold 5 in arena, which I will do throughout the day today. So now that all that's done, we're going to start putting a little bit of gear on our characters to beat Wyvern. So the next mission on the path here is going to be clear Wyvern, hunt 10 or higher 10 times. So with having to do that, one thing, before we move too much gear, we're going to need to make sure these characters are boosted up. But we did just get a little bit of free gear. We are going to have to take some gear off of our main characters to put on to farm or to beat this all. Okay, so it is annoying, but you will need to do that, and we will have to move the gear back. Okay, just getting through this part of the game is a little rough, but we'll make it through. So with Furious, we're going to go ahead and put these 2 pieces on him. That's the only 2 pieces for now, because we're going to have to move gear off other characters for later. And then our Mui, we got that effectiveness ring. We're going to go ahead and put it on him. And then now we are going to go back up, and our Angelica. This is one of the most important things. You do not need to buy an exclusive equipment for an Angelica. We are going to buy one for Furious, though. We need to level this gear. The right side gear is the most important to level, so I'm going to go ahead and start slowly leveling this, and we need to get the boots and everything basically maxed out. The more maxed out we get everything, the more we're going to survive, and that is the ultimate goal with Wyvern, is we need our front tank to survive. Okay, well, as long as our front tank survives, our front line character survives, we're good to go. So first off, I always use the charms that are going to not be the universal charms. The universal charms obviously have more value because they could be used on anything. So I always will take and put these charms in first. And I'm going to put these all the way up to plus 15. Okay, and then hopefully you guys have charms. We are going to end up having to go do some more labyrinth. So that rolled pretty terrible, but I guess it's fine. Okay, now these pieces are going to be the hard ones. All right, I'm going to take this up to plus 9 for now. We are going to have to boost it up more later, but let's take this plus 9. Okay, there we go. And let's take the necklace and put it up to plus 9 as well. We are going to need a lot of right side charms. This is where most of your early right side charms ends up going. In terms of the sword, you don't need to level the sword really at all. I'm just going to boost up to 6. The sword just gives extra attack. You can roll HP on it, but as you see right there, the only stat that would really help us right here is HP. We didn't get any, but the helmet and chest are both going to be super important in leveling up to the highest level we can, because that gives, as you see, flat HP, and it also, the chest will give defense. So we want to just take our regular charms of both types, get this boosted up. We are going to end up switching out Raz for our Angelica, most likely, for a couple of the stages going forward, just because she will just survive forever, and she is a solid character. And then once we get our Raz specially changed after beating chapter 2, we will end up utilizing him for a couple other things within the game. So he is not a useless character. He becomes very useful for a lot of different things. We are going to 6-star him as well. So any of you guys that are looking, what's another character I could 6-star? You don't have to 6-star anything for right now, but Raz would be one. That rolled okay. The extra defense could be really nice. I wish it would have went at least some HP, but then we will again just boost up this, and then feed again just the other charms into it. And it's going effect res. We would love to have HP or defense here, preferably HP, but it's not rolling the greatest, but it's okay. This gear, no matter what, it works. That's the nice thing about it. It's free gear that gets the job done, and then you will get your proper gear as you keep playing. So don't feel too bad if you feel like the gear's not rolling too well. But all of this, taking it to plus 15, this is what's going to carry you through the rest of the game, is this free gear in terms of clearing like story. We rolled no HP on anything. So our Angelica has 1700 defense, but only 20,000 HP. We want as much HP as possible. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this up to plus 6. All right, let's put it up to plus 9. Okay, so just put this up to at least plus 9. This should be good enough. This gives a little bit of extra stat as well. And we are going to need to upgrade the ring and necklace a little bit more. Once we upgrade that ring and necklace, she will work perfectly fine for Wyvern. And then our cigarette is just going to end up stealing gear from one of our other characters for beating this, okay? So what I want you guys to do, this is going to be a little... Oh, Mui is going to be on Daydream Joker, okay? So Daydream Joker, it's going to be his artifact as well. And again, you're Furious. If you do not have Song of Stars from somebody on Assyria, just put him on Daydream Joker as well. That's all you have to do. I am going to go in and try to get a exclusive equipment for our Furious now. So let me go and look. Where is he? Okay, so Furious is the one that you want. It doesn't really matter. I really like the decreased hit chance because it has an ability to keep you alive, and it's at a higher percentage because you need the most debuffs you can possibly get for doing Wyvern. Now, if you don't have Mui, I don't want the restrict one. I'm going to try. I guess we'll just take this one. It has a burn chance. The burn chance, it's It's okay. It gives you a little bit more. If you do get the blind one, it makes your team a little bit safer. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. The restrict, it doesn't really help you at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't think so. The restrict is good for other content. I think you can use him to set up a Banshee one-shot team later. But for right now, just try to do 2 and just take whichever one you get. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to boost that up to that. And the next artifact, we want to boost our cigarettes up to probably around plus 18. Once we boost this up to, there's plus 15. Try to get this to plus 18, and it should be strong enough to get through the first clearings that we need to. And the next thing is our Mui. We want to boost this one up to plus 15. So this is where a lot of your early artifact charms go. It sucks because artifact charms are insanely hard to get in Epic 7. So he is boosted up to 15 now. And we want to go, and I'm going to farm because I would like to get his 5th Awakening done. Okay, this 5th Awakening is just extra attack. It's going to end up making things just more consistent. In terms of his skill enhancements, you do want to do these as well. You want to get to the effect chance on the skill 1, and the more that you do of this, the better, because it just gives you overall more damage to make your Wyvern more consistent. But the biggest thing is the effect chances on him, and then also your Furious is going to need some catalyst as well to try to get this on the 1-turn cooldown, and then you want this on 1-turn cooldown. So Furious takes, or no, you want this all the way to the effect chance. Okay, so Furious does end up taking quite a bit of skill enhancements. You want this, and then you want down here, meaning that we need to get quite a few of the Twisted Fangs. Okay, so with needing all of that stuff, one thing, go to the guild, do your daily things, because we are going to want to send as much aid as possible. I still keep requesting the lowest rarity of the Wyvern Claws. And there we go. So I keep requesting lowest rarity of Wyvern Claws. You want to make sure you're doing as much aid as possible per day. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and receive this. And I'm going to go to the member shop. So with the member shop, you always want to buy the catalyst. That's the most important thing you can buy from here. Second, you want to go down, and these catalyst boxes are really good value as well. Anything that you can buy with these Brave Crests, you pretty much want to. This box is really good value, and then you can also buy 1 lab compass per week, and then any leftover Brave Crests you get, this is where you get artifact charms. Okay, so down in there, it is a lot of grinding, but let me go ahead and boost this up, and then let's buy this for the guild, and we should be good to go. So make sure you're doing your guild stuff every day. With this chest, it's 250 more Brave Crests. This is some more currency that we could use to trade in. So from here, in terms of our adventure progress, this is something you may want to go work on now that you have all the other things done. You can do some AP farming. You can do other in unrecorded history farm stage 30 and try to get some extra charms and things like that from selling the gear and the drops. And then you want to get the AP for the catalyst because we got to boost up our characters. And from there, you also can come in and clear a little bit more of story. And with clearing the story, you also have the ability to go in and you can buy things from the AP exchange. So you want to buy your Breath of Orbises from the AP exchange. Once you buy your Breath of Orbises, you can buy catalyst. Okay, so with buying the catalyst, if there's certain catalysts that we needed, then we could buy them, but I would not buy the gear. We need to spend the AP going throughout this to get more of the boxes and things unlocked. So if we go to area 2 down here, check out the AP exchange, you can finish these missions, and this will give you a bunch of extra catalysts, and it gives you a bunch of the rewards. So I highly suggest going through and clearing some of this extra stuff out. It's going to give you a bunch of sky stones as well. So if you go to area 3, we can go ahead and buy this Breath of Orbis here. And then we needed these sharp spearhead catalysts for our Mui. So we can go ahead and buy those. So that gives us a little bit of boost into building up our stuff. Then we go to area 4, and then we need to obviously clear these missions here. So that is one thing that you can do now. Go in, just clear a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to go work on a lot of that and come back. And the overall goals I want you to work on today is getting your catalyst and everything ready to beat Wyvern at the end of this video. So go ahead, keep boosting up all your stuff. I will try to set up everything to where we can beat Wyvern, and then we're going to be done with this part of the guide. Next up, we're going to be clearing more story, but the overall goal is we want to get further in these missions, okay? The further we get in these missions, we also have to mess with expeditions and go over that. But we want to try to get all the way to the end of this as fast as possible. We are going to have to beat Hunt 10 or higher 20 times just to get some of this knocked out. But then past that, This is pretty straightforward. We have to promote a 5-star hero to 6-star 4 times, so we'll use our potion. We need clear floor 16 Abyss, purchase the Book of Memories. This is very important. And from here, all of this is pretty straightforward. We want to try to get this done within today and tomorrow of the guide. If that takes you a week of playing, that's fine. But I will be back after I do a bunch of farming, and I'll show you guys where all my progress is. Alright, what's up guys, it's Mature Deity, and I am sorry about taking so long in this. I just recorded all of this, and my voice was not recording because my computer restarted, my mic unplugged. So I went and did everything, and I thought everything was fine, but I'm going to go ahead and try to backtrack and show you guys what all we did. So I went and completed a lot of different things. I farmed a lot of unrecorded history. As you see, my count rank's 45. So I farmed a pretty good chunk of unrecorded history, and then also I did some arena. I want you guys to keep pushing to gold arena. And then I went through adventure. So with the adventure, I ended up going through and completing a lot of Sidonia. So with doing Sidonia, go and do the extra challenges and missions. Along the way, you get a bunch of extra Skystones. You see I'm at 10,000 Skystones, and you can trade in for your Breath of Orbises and Catalyst. And then see, as you receive these little missions, you get some extra bonus Skystones as well. So go and keep completing through all of this, of the old ones, even go back to this 1S. Go through all this as an extra bunch of Skystones you can get, and then you just keep grabbing catalysts throughout this, and as you spend, you're gonna be getting more resources. So I also want you to go into your event. Okay, so with your event, I want you to go through your 6-star promotions, grab anything you can from these. These are going to be catalysts if you guys are to the login day of after you 6-starred. Next up, we have our Mologora challenge. Make sure you've done everything you can for that. We still need to do our spirit altars. Once we finish that, we'll be good to go. And then Hunt Expert challenge, grab. I did do all this. This is our goal that we're doing today. This is what I did while I wasn't recording my voice, but just make sure you go in and grab everything. One of the big things is adventure for new heirs. That's why I was telling you to go and do those missions. Is if you come back after you've spent quite a bit of your action points, you will get all of these rewards. There's some catalyst chests there as well, and then you can come in and then you will be getting these right side charms. So that's some things that I want you to work on. But the biggest thing was we were building our Wyvern team, correct? So I actually moved all the gear and talked through all of it all, so I'm sorry. But what we're going to do is go and put your free Spiriteria gear onto your cigarette. Okay, just 1-for-1 match it. Just put this gear on and your cigarette's good to go. So that's all you have to do is go put free Spiriteria gear on your cigarette. We're going to have to move the gear back once we're done with this, but this is just for the beginning. Next up, go to your Angelica. I want your Angelica to look as similar to this as possible. Okay, it does take a lot of right side charm upgrades. That's why I want you to go get those other right side charms. But go ahead and boost her equipment up to this. As you see, mine's plus 15 on everything. The ring's still plus 14. This is plus 15. Okay, so now from there, I want you to go to your Furious, and I want you to take this ring and neck that we got from Adventurer's Path, put them up to plus 6. Okay, and your goal is to get 74 effectiveness, and you need him to be decently fast. That's why we took the speed set. So take your Spectre Steeber gear and put it on your Furious. Okay, and then he should be good to go. Next up, lastly, we are going to go down and we have our last character. It's either going to be Mui or it's going to be Alexa. And you are going to have this free attack set from your Hunt Expert challenges. You may have to claim it from your mailbox, but you may have that. You should have that. If you don't have it, you need to go get it. Okay, so go and get this free attack set, and then I want you to level it up. As you see, I put everything to plus 12, including the neck, and then we have the ring we bought from the arena shop. Okay, this ring was from the arena shop, the hit set. It cost, that was the first item we bought going through. And then I want you to put these boots. Now, this is the only difference. If you're using Alexa, I want you to use the Pegasus boots. So the Pegasus boots, I told you guys to lock them whenever we were going through story. And it is these boots here. If you have these are going to be your speed boots that you could use on her. Alexa needs the speed to be able to land her debuffs and get around in time. So Alexa is annoying to use. You guys may have a little bit of problem, but as long as your stats look fine and you ask some questions, we'll get you through beating it the first time. Otherwise, if you don't have Mui or Alexa, you may want to wait for this part and just keep using your team and going through story a little bit more, which will be in the next portion of the guide. But you need either Mui or Alexa for beating this. That's a big reason I wanted you to summon on a first banner. Depending on when you guys start the game, like tonight there is a new banner for the new Senya, but if there's a banner that's good that you didn't do a story summon, but you can summon on a banner that's actually decent, check in the Discord and everything will let you know what banners we're summoning on right now. But this is going to be the boot that you will utilize. Okay, you need speed main stat boot. So these are your 4 characters. If you are on Furious, we have Song of Stars from summoning on Asaria. If you didn't get Song of Stars, just put Daydream Joker and put it at least to plus 9. Okay, as long as you do that, you should be good to go. And this team, I just went through and it beat it all, no problem. The other thing from last time I recorded was going to be the Awakenings, okay? And if you can't boost all this, I'll talk about Charms here in a second. But this will be from, I did Awaken him and I did skill him up a little bit. Your goals for your skill enhancements are going to be the effect chances. So I did not get this one. I did not get this effect chance yet. But you should have all the boxes from the different things that we've done. And everything with that. One of the more important ones is Furious, though. You want this on cooldown, so you need to go and make sure you've done your Twisted Fangs and got this. And you want to try to get this all the way up to the effect chance here. So as you see, I can grab these from boxes, so I'm going to go ahead and boost this, and now our Furious is done. Okay, these are characters that are going to be on our first Wyvern team for a very long time until you guys get some of the better characters a year from now or whatever and want to change your Wyvern team. But this is going to be the Wyvern setup, okay? Those are all the characters. Now, as you see, we upgraded all of the gear quite a bit. From farming unrecorded history, you're going to get charms for all your sword, helmet, chest, and boots. Those 4 are covered from charms there. Then from there, I did go and I spent a bunch of your Labyrinth shop points. I spent them in the recording that I was not recording my voice. So I had 2,000. I went in and bought charms here. Okay, so you just buy whichever kind of charms. I usually split. If I had 2,000, so I bought 8 and 9. I bought 8 different greater rings, 9 greater necklaces. This is how I split mine, but just 50-50, split it even, and then use that to upgrade your gear. Now, if you have more of your Labyrinth compasses, before you move your gear, you can go, or you may need to move your gear back, but you can go do Labyrinth with your normal team and just try to get some more of these ancient coins to level up your necklaces and rings a little bit more. But that is it. Another place that you can get a couple extra charms is going to be in your transmit zone shop. I did buy these while I was recording and trying to walk you guys through. This is a little bit of extra charms you can get, but other than that, charms are very hard. Okay, that's the best that we could do for charms. Maybe in your special events, you can go see if there's any charms available within this. If you haven't bought them yet, I already bought them. So there are these, in terms of left side charms, I always buy the accessory charms first in here for new accounts. But if you need anything, you can kind of grab some stuff from in here, but other than that, it's probably just you need to go back and do some of your Labyrinth entries. Okay, so now that we are done, I want you guys to go through. I've already gone through and done this, but you need to go and beat through all the different hunts. One of the things with the hunts is you have the chance to fail, okay? There is the chance that you're going to fail because as you get in these lower tier hunts from 8 to 11 or 8 to 9, there's no way to make it consistent. If the Wyvern attacks one of your backline units and kills it, you're just screwed. You have to restart. But there is no stamina for restarting, and the goal is we just have to beat each of these hunts once for right now, and then we have to farm stage 11. That's the whole idea here. You don't want to farm any stage below stage 11 ever. It's a complete waste. Even 11's kind of a waste, but the idea is we're going to be getting to hunt 13 as fast as possible. But go through, just keep trying the missions. And then as you get to stage 12, or once you beat stage 11 of just doing it on auto, I will come back and I will show you me manualing 13. Since we only have to beat it once, we're going to manual it and I'll show you guys what to do. And then from there, we'll go back and quick farm, or just farm stage 11 20 times, and then we'll be good to go. So I'm going to pause for a second while you guys do that. I will come back and we will go through stage 13, which is basically the same as 12 together. Okay, so now that you guys are to hunt 12, hopefully you didn't have any problems. If you did, just let me know. With your Alexa, it's going to be a lot harder, but I'll kind of talk through it. So with stage 13 here, I'm going to go through and I'm going to manual it, and you will just copy what I do, even if you have to apply this to the earlier stages. So I usually will just full auto through the first little part. The biggest thing is we want to make sure our Furious has a skill 2 going into the next stage. Now with our Alexa, the whole idea of Alexa is we're trying to land our poisons. So you will pretty much never skill 3 on your Alexa. Your Alexa is going to be built just like our Mui is, except with speed boots, as we talked about earlier, because she needs to get more turns. And as long as you have that, you should be good to go. You may need to put a little bit, whatever your fastest pieces are on her, because she needs to get the turns. All right, so now that we're to this point, we'll go ahead and just manual, and our goal is to save as many of our skills as possible, so I'll just S1 that. It was almost enough to kill, but not quite. All right, and then we also would have liked to, so see right here, our Furious skill 2 is available. We're not going to use it. We would have liked our Mui to have his skill up for whenever Wyvern attacks us the first time, but it'll be okay. So let's go ahead, S1 here, and then we'll go into the next phase. So our Furious has a skill up. This is where we might need to restart if we don't land debuffs. So again, with Wyvern, your goal is to land 2 debuffs on him. The first time he attacks, he will always attack your front unit as long as you're stage 11 or higher. That's why stage 8 through 10 are a little bit challenging, because you can get unlucky. So now we're going to go ahead and skill 2 our Furious to give our crit chance on all our other characters, since our stats aren't that great. And then that gives us to where it'll be consistent. And then we skill 3 and hope we land. We did land both, okay? So if you do not have Song of Stars, you will only land 1 here. That is going to be a little bit challenging because now we need our Mui to land a debuff. Usually if your Mui's in rotation, he could have landed the attack break when the Wyvern attacked him, but this is why I was wanting you to skill up your skill 1. This is going to be annoying for some of you guys that didn't get Song of Stars because you have 1 less debuff that you can land. So with right here, we're going to just skill 1 and hope for the best. All right. If you skill 1 here, then you hope that you get a chance to bleed. Now with our cigarette, we have our skill 2, and we can also soul burn this attack. So I'm going to go ahead and soul burn just to get the extra damage now. If you guys are on the correct exclusive equipment, if it's below 75% HP, she gets an additional hit there. So we did not get the correct one, but it'll be fine. For this, if you didn't get the correct one, as you see, I didn't get it, it's fine. So right here, this is where as long as you land the attack down, you're pretty much good to go, as long as Mui lands attack down. Now if you're using Alexa, you're just going through and you need to soul burn your Alexa skill 2 to apply the poisons. That's the idea behind this. The poisons are what destroy this boss with Alexa. She's not going to be great. Now that the defense break is on 1 turn cooldown, I'm going to try to skill 2 to up the defense break. We didn't get it, it resisted. And now we're going to skill 3 with our cigarette. This will do most of the damage needed. And then from here, it's just hopefully things go well. All of our characters get pushed up here. Our Furious is back into our skills. If we land defense break, this should be over. And again, you might have to try this multiple times, but you will get it. This team does work. This is going to be basically your main farming team for quite a while. Once you get Brieg, it's going to become way easier. Brieg has a chance to defense break on there as well, whereas our Angelica and most other frontline characters don't have a chance for landing any debuffs. So now that we're here, we skill 2 and we win because it lands an extra hit because it's below 75% HP. So that's all you got to do. It's very simple. It might be annoying for some of you, but we'll see. Hopefully there's not too many problems in the comments if you guys built everything like I did. Now the goal that we have is going to be, if you come out here, we need to clear hunt 10 or higher 20 times. So as you see right here, clear Wyvern 10 or higher 10 times. And then this mission a little bit further on is clear Wyvern 10 or higher 30 times. Okay, so if you want to just sit here and go through, just set your auto battle and try to see how many times it'll beat it on auto battle on 11. Okay, 11 is much easier. That is our current goal, is just set it to 11. And as long as we finish these now, we don't have to worry about building a team later because we have to move this gear that's on our Wyvern team back onto our other characters. Okay, so we don't want to keep having to move gear, so we're going to try to knock both these out at one time. But now that we are done with this, we can go to our hunt challenges and we are going to have finished up the missions. Okay, so we actually get to do some summons here. So if you receive all of this, then we will have a bunch of bookmarks. And if you guys did end up having to use Alexa, you may end up getting Mui from this, and you will build Mui right away. Okay, if you built Alexa, she is just a very placeholder character. All right, so just keep that in mind. And now we're going to go to our element summons. We're going to claim all of this, and we're going to do some summons. This part where everyone's account will be different. Maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't, but I'm just going to go ahead and rip these. And this will pretty much be it for the video. I'm going to give you a list of things that you can do after. There's a 4-star. And from here on, though, we are going to be using the only character we don't have to move the gear back off of. Sorry, I'm still sick. The only character we don't have to move the gear back off of is going to be our Angelica. So with our Angelica, she will end up taking Raz's spot for the next little bit in our adventure because she's already 6-starred. She's super tanky. She's not going to die, and you're going to be good to go. All right, so we did not get any 5-stars. We really didn't get anything worth anything out of our lower end bookmarks. Now we have 3 of the 4 to 5 summons. These give a very high chance at a 5-star. There's a 5-star. If this gives me Brieg, I won't use them. Don't worry. Okay, it didn't. It's going to give me Yuna. Lua. Okay, so Lua. That's a speed character. We're not going to be able to utilize her for a long time. And then there's another 5-star. So this has a very high chance of getting 5 stars. It's probably Taeyu. It's Shu. Okay. I've been wrong on all of them so far. And no 5-star for this one. Okay. Usually with all the new accounts and guides I've made, and there's another Angelica. So usually with all the guides I've made, it's, I would say, an average of 1 5-star per hunt challenge that I do. It's usually about 1 and maybe 2 on, maybe it's 4 out of the 3 of even the 3 to 5-star bookmarks, because those have higher rates as well. So if you guys get to this point and your inventory is full, just go ahead and clean this up. Just sell your 2 stars if need be, and that should clear you up. That's from me farming some of the adventure. So now that this is done, again, I want you to go in and I want you to clear through Wyvern 11. Just set this to auto. I'm going to do this now, and then put your pet on. You also have your quick battles. So I'm going to try the quick battles and just see how this performs. We're probably going to fail a good chunk of them. Okay, but I'm just going to go ahead and click the quick battle. If you have these available, you can utilize them. But there's 1 complete, 2. Any of the T70 gear you get from this, we're just going to sell. Any of the T85 gear that you're unsure of, I do have a crafting video. We'll go over all that. Okay, never mind. It beat all of it. Okay, so that's a really good sign. But I am going to go ahead and farm this a little bit more. I think I need to beat it 15 times now because it's like 15, around 20 more times. So I'm going to let this run for 15 runs with my pet, and then I'm going to do like maybe 1 or 2 extra just to make sure that shows that I finished the 30 hunts. Well, as long as it shows I finished the 30 hunts, then we will move our gear back. So I will be back once we're going to move our gear back, and I will give you a list of stuff we're going to work on. And then I will be done with this part of the guide, and we'll start working on the next part. I'll start right away and have it start working on tomorrow. So Give me just a second. I will be back once this is done farming, and then we'll be moving on to the next part of the guide. All right, now that you have farmed your Wyvern 11 a good chunk and gotten to the point where if you go to this mission here, or to your mission, scroll all the way over to the right and see if you've cleared hunt 10 or higher 30 times. As long as this bar is green, you are pretty much, you're done with what we need to do here. So now the next mission is going to be to craft 10 pieces of level 85 Wyvern. So we're going to take the easy route with this. You're not going to get any gear out of this, almost guaranteed. It's only 10 pieces. So we're just going to go an easy thing here, and we're going to go to Steel Workshop, crafting. And if you want to craft anything specific, you can, but I always just do boots for the first one, and any non-speed main stat boot, we pretty much just sell. So any speed main stat you can sell. If there's any kind of flat stat, those are instantly just going to sell. We will end up extracting gear in a little bit once we get to the account rank needed. If there's any gear you are curious on, if it's actually decent and not speed main stat, you can hold on to it until later. So like this has some potential, as you see, as crit chance, crit damage, HP, and as speed. But I know I will not use that. I don't have any defense scaling damage dealers. There are very few in the game. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell anything that isn't speed main stat boot. And then from here, I'm going to keep that and just hold on to it in my inventory. And that will finish the mission up that we needed to finish. So now we can come over here, grab this, and then from here, we are going to have expeditions. So expeditions are going to be, if you go in and click go, once you've farmed a little bit of the Wyvern, as you see, we should have a couple expeditions. So the goal of this is going to be to go ahead and start an expedition. Whichever one you do, you need to make sure you do X amount of damage. So with the expeditions, these are things that you are going to be able to complete with anybody else in your server or your guild. So whenever you enter this, you do so much damage, and then you invite your friends, or you can invite anyone in the server to come in and help you finish it. And you need to do so many points in order to get people in to help you. This is actually one of the harder rotations. We are going to show you teams and everything for trying to get the setup, but we're going to go in and we are going to set the lowest rarity of whichever one we want to do. So with this, ideally we need to switch our gear back onto our main team from this point. Okay, and as long as you have a couple of these, you're good to go. So you might need to go out and farm Wyvern a little bit more, but try to get a couple different posters, and then having those couple different posters, you'll have a couple chances at this. Okay, so now that we have gotten that poster and we started at level 1, I'm going to go ahead and move my gear back to my main team. If you don't have any posters, maybe go set another couple 15 runs until you have a couple posters there. Once you have a couple posters, you can come back, but I will show my teams in a second. Once I move the gear back on, we'll go in, we'll get the points that we need, and then we'll go on to the next part of the guide. We're almost done for today. Okay, so now that we moved our gear back on, you can also promote or awaken your Spectre Tenebria again if you do have the ability to. So I'm going to go ahead and click this icon and use Catalyst Chest. I'm going to go ahead, and as you see, I can only get 2 from this, so I'm not going to bother with this yet, but all of our characters are back on the gear. The only characters to move gear off of we're our damage dealers. So we have our Spectre Tenebra back geared to the best of our ability, and we have our Free Spirit Tyria. And then we have our Angelica still on gear. Our Sigra obviously is completely off gear. I did keep the chest on the Free Spirit Tyria that we actually rolled for Mui, because Mui's chest ended up having a little bit more crit chance. So this ended up being the better. If there are any pieces that whenever you look, maybe the helmet on your Mui is going to be better, you can go in and check. And as you see, we have 7 crit chance here, and you can see the overall stat line. We do have less crit chance, so I'm not going to keep this, but we do have more of the other stats. But your goal is to get 100% crit chance on your Free Spirit area. So now that we are done with this, we're going to go in and we are going to try to do an expedition. I will let you guys know that the light expedition is going to be the hardest out of all of them, and this is going to be pretty challenging. If you guys got lucky, okay, let me skip the tutorial. If you guys got lucky and ended up getting the... honestly, all of them are kind of bad. This rotation is kind of hard. This is the hardest ones. So we'll go in and we will try to enter this expedition, and then with our expedition team, we're just going to obviously use our main team. We could also try to use Angelica on the team, but the problem with using Angelica is going to be that if you don't have a knight as your front character, you are going to end up doing, or they take bonus damage. So with them taking bonus damage, it is a significant amount of damage. With this being a level 1, it might be okay. I'm going to go ahead and try it, and if it works out, cool. If it doesn't work out, then that is not good. Okay, so the thing with light, this is light expedition. You actually don't need a healer for this, so never mind. If you're doing light, if you're doing any of the other ones, you can try that, but you do not need a healer for the this expedition. So the idea here is we would put the remaining gear that we have upgraded on another character. So the character that we're going to try to put the extra gear on is our Sigret. If you're doing light expo, if you're doing any of the other expos, just use whichever other team that you have. So let me go in and we're going to just take any gear that we have leveled up on our Mui and switch it over, and then we have this extra free piece here already upgraded. And then the thing is, we have this effectiveness ring. Not really the ideal ring, but we don't have any charms to upgrade for right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on. And then for the boot, we are going to go ahead and take Mui's boot. Okay, so this is going to be a stretch as to if it'll do enough damage, but this part of the going through is very hard, but we do need to complete these expeditions to move on to the next part of the game. So let me go in and try this again. Dark Expedition is by far the hardest, but we'll be back in a second to see how this ended up.